All of us are different ages. All of us come from different backgrounds. All of us were raised maybe differently by our parents if we had two or if we had one. And to an extent, all of us have been raised differently in how we became a coach. And we have a story of how we got to where we are. I'm not old yet, but I'm also not young anymore. And I have seen in my career, as I have evolved, as the jobs have changed, as the level has changed, as the exposure has changed, some of the things that I thought were important and that I held on really, really tight now are not important at all. And I don't even touch them anymore. I'm not saying that I'm right. Not anything will I say today am I saying it in an arrogant tone, or am I presenting it in such a manner that this is the right way? But what I have realized, particularly over the last decade, part of that is because my children are growing up. And so not only do I see the evolution that they're going through, but now some of my children are getting closer to the same age as some of the kids that we recruit, which turns into the kids that we coach. I think technology has completely changed the entire world, and I think that it has changed our world that we live in. And I think that if we were to be honest, we as adults see how technology has changed children, and we readily can give justification on why things are different, on why things have changed. But if we were to really examine ourselves, technology has changed us too. And I don't think that you can ever be a leader with a high ceiling if you don't have self-awareness. And so I'm paranoid about being aware of myself. And as much as I see my children on their screen, and I hear my wife saying, "Put your electronics up," and as many texts as I see, mass texts going to my children when I'm on the road recruiting of my wife saying, "Put your phones up," I see the same thing, right, with the kids that I coach. To the point that I've been in NFL rooms like this, and it's grown men, not kids. It's grown men, many of which are multimillionaires, being coached by guys that are grown men, that are multimillionaires, and they're literally taking phone breaks during the film session. These are, football coaches are different than basketball coaches. That's a different vibe to the room. And they're going, "Hey guys, break, phone break." So they can check Twitter, so they can check Instagram. The reason I'm giving 3 minutes to that is I think the derivative of that is that we are all in a battle for mind space. All of us are fighting for mind space. But I think as coaches, we think that that mind space that we're fighting for is we're trying to fight our kids for space in their mind. And I think what I've learned as I've aged, I can't figure out how to fight that battle if I don't know how to fight it for myself. Because I may know the out of bounds play, but it doesn't matter. You've heard the old school coaches say, "It's not what I know, it's what they know." Well, that's the same thing what I think relative to mind space. And so in a paranoid, overprotective type way. I'm constantly trying to figure out, some of you guys have probably heard the song, This Is How I Fight My Battles. If you hadn't heard it, Google it. And when you run on the treadmill every morning, just hit it on replay. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. And I look and go to multiple thousands of practices a year. And as soon as I walk in, I can immediately tell how they fight battles. I can tell how their team fights. I can tell how the head coach fights. I can tell how the staff fights. And all of that is a derivative of how they fight, how they battle for mind space. And that mind space that we're all fighting for, I think it says so much about who you guys are that you're here. Not that you came to Texas A&M. Texas A&M ain't got nothing to do with this. Not that I'm speaking, I got nothing to do with this. But it speaks to your mind space that you're willing to give 10 hours today to be here. And I know because some of you are texting and DMing, some of you are coming from different states from a long way away. And so you've moved your calendar, which means that your spouse, your children, your team, your whole calendar has had to change in order for you to be here. And as a worker, I respect that, because that means in your mind, you're trying to figure out how you can get better. But this fight for mind space is constant.